If you are a man over 60, I need you to hear me right now. The fruit you put on your plate each morning, the one you've trusted for years as a symbol of health, may actually be killing your erections. Quietly, day after day, your manhood is being drained, not by age alone, but by the very foods you thought were keeping you strong. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a men's health specialist with more than 30 years of experience helping men restore their vitality, energy, and performance. I've sat across from thousands of men just like you, men who thought they were doing everything right, only to discover that small daily habits were stealing the strength they believed was gone forever. Here's the paradox. We've been told our whole lives that fruit is the healthiest way to start the day. But for men over 60, certain fruits do the exact opposite. They spike your blood sugar, choke off your testosterone, and weaken blood flow where you need it most. Something marketed as good for you could be the very reason your mornings feel flat. But there is hope. In this video, I will reveal the 7 fruits you must avoid at breakfast if you want to protect your erections, rebuild your energy, and feel confident in your body again. When you understand this truth, you'll see that age is not the problem, information is. And make sure you stay with me, because toward the end, I'll also show you what you can eat instead. Foods that naturally fuel your testosterone and circulation, so you can start taking back your mornings beginning tomorrow. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another video designed to protect your health, your energy, and your manhood. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me. If it doesn't, type 0 so I can keep improving and give you exactly what you need. All right, let's get straight into the first fruit you need to watch out for. It's probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now, and for decades it's been praised as the perfect breakfast choice. But for men over 60, it quietly weakens erections more than you realize. Bananas. Fruit number 1. Bananas, especially overripe. I'll be honest with you, this one hits close to home for me. For most of my life, I believed bananas were the perfect breakfast food. Quick, easy, portable, and full of potassium. Everything about them seemed to scream, healthy choice. I remember mornings when I would toss one into my bag or slice it over cereal, feeling like I was fueling my body in the right way. But as I got older, I started noticing subtle changes. My mornings didn't feel as strong, my confidence wasn't quite the same, and I wondered if this was just what aging had in store. The truth, which I didn't realize until much later, was that those sweet bananas, especially the soft and spotted ones I loved, were quietly working against me. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. As bananas ripen, their sugar content rises dramatically. That creamy, sweet banana you think is giving you energy is actually flooding your bloodstream with fast-digesting sugars. And when that happens first thing in the morning, your body responds with a sharp insulin spike. For younger men, that spike might not cause immediate harm. But for men over 60, it's devastating. Insulin acts like a bully, pushing testosterone down, interrupting nitric oxide production, and inflaming the very blood vessels your erections depend on. Over time, this quiet storm chips away at your strength. Maybe at first you notice you're not as hard when you wake up. Then it happens again, and eventually you start to believe it's just age. But it's not. It's breakfast. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you can never enjoy a banana again. If you truly love them, there are safer ways. Never eat them on an empty stomach. Pair them with protein or healthy fat to slow the sugar rush, and save them for later in the day when your body is better equipped to handle the impact. But if you've been eating bananas first thing in the morning, thinking they're helping, you need to understand they may be silently stealing your manhood. And if you think bananas are surprising, just wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's tiny, sweet, and seems innocent enough, but for men in their 60s, it may be doing even more damage than you can imagine. Fruit. Number 2. Grapes. For years, I used to grab a handful of grapes straight from the fridge without a second thought. They felt light, refreshing, and I honestly believed I was making one of the healthiest choices possible. I can still remember hot summer afternoons when I'd sit with a bowl of grapes, popping them one by one, feeling like I was doing something good for my body. But as time went on, and as I began working closely with men in their 60s and beyond, I started noticing a disturbing pattern. The very fruit that seemed so innocent was quietly undermining strength, vitality, and performance in ways no one ever warned us about. Here's the truth about grapes. For their small size, they are loaded with natural sugars. They may look harmless, but don't be fooled. Those little spheres are highly concentrated, and because they're mostly water and sugar, they digest incredibly fast. When you eat grapes first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it's like sending a tidal wave of sugar rushing into your bloodstream. That sugar spike forces your body to release a surge of insulin, and while that might restore balance to your blood sugar, it comes at a heavy price. Insulin suppresses testosterone. It also causes blood vessels to tighten, restricting circulation right where you need it most. For men over 60, that repeated cycle, sugar spike, insulin surge, testosterone crash, slowly chips away at erection quality. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps up on you, little by little, until one morning you realize your confidence isn't what it used to be. If you enjoy grapes, I won't tell you to banish them forever, but timing is everything. Never eat them on an empty stomach, and never first thing in the morning. If you must indulge, save them for later in the day, ideally after a protein-rich meal when your blood sugar is already stable. That way you can enjoy their sweetness without paying the hidden cost in the bedroom. And as surprising as grapes may sound, the next item is even worse. It isn't just a fruit you eat. It's a drink millions of men still pour into their glass every morning, believing it's healthy, but in truth it may be one of the fastest ways to sabotage your erections. Fruit number 3. Orange juice. I still remember the mornings when I thought pouring a tall glass of orange juice was one of the healthiest things I could do for myself. It felt refreshing, it tasted clean, and it carried that promise we've all been sold for decades: vitamin C and energy to start the day right. As a younger man, I never questioned it. I'd set my glass down next to my plate of eggs or toast, feeling like I was giving my body exactly what it needed. But over time, I began to notice something. My energy didn't last. My focus would crash by late morning, and quietly, my confidence as a man was fading. What I didn't realize back then was that orange juice was never the health food I believed it to be. It was liquid sugar disguised in a sunny carton. The truth is, one glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. And when you drink it first thing in the morning, there's no fiber, no protein, nothing to slow it down. That sugar rush slams into your bloodstream instantly, forcing your body to release a surge of insulin. For men over 60, that surge is especially destructive. Insulin doesn't just lower blood sugar, it also suppresses testosterone, inflames your system, and tightens blood vessels, including the ones your erections depend on. The result is a slow, silent erosion of performance. You may feel a quick burst of energy at first, but by late morning you're left drained, unfocused, and wondering why your drive, both in daily life and in the bedroom, isn't what it used to be. If you truly enjoy citrus, there's a smarter way. Skip the juice and eat the whole orange instead. The fiber will slow absorption, and your body can actually process the nutrients without the sugar spike. Better yet, save it for after a balanced meal, not first thing in the morning. And if you thought orange juice was surprising, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's one men often believe actually helps their erections. And while it can in certain ways, when eaten the wrong way, it may secretly be robbing you of the very strength you're trying to protect. Fruit number 4. Watermelon. When eaten wrong. For many years, I believed watermelon was one of the best fruits a man could eat. On hot summer days, I'd slice it up, fill a big bowl, and feel like I was giving my body something pure and revitalizing. And to be fair, there's truth in that. Watermelon contains citrulline, a compound known to help improve blood flow. I remember reading about it and thinking, perfect. This must be the ultimate food for men's health. But here's what I didn't understand at the time. When you eat watermelon in the wrong way, especially on an empty stomach in the morning, it can quietly sabotage the very erections you're trying to protect. Watermelon is more than 90% water, but don't let that fool you. It carries a surprisingly high load of natural sugars, and it digests very quickly. That means if you eat a big slice first thing in the morning, your bloodstream is suddenly flooded with sugar. And when that sugar hits fast, your body responds with the same destructive cycle we've been talking about: a sharp insulin surge, a drop in testosterone, and a disruption in nitric oxide, the very molecule your body needs to direct blood into your penis. Instead of supporting your performance, watermelon eaten the wrong way ends up pulling it down. And there's another catch. Because it digests so quickly, it leaves you hungry soon after. That crash often leads to reaching for more sugar mid-morning, starting a cycle that drains your energy, your mood, and your confidence throughout the day. The solution isn't to give up watermelon completely. If you enjoy it, you can still keep it in your life. The key is moderation and timing. A few slices after a protein-rich lunch can give you hydration and nutrients without the hormonal chaos. But make no mistake, eaten alone in the morning, it can do far more harm than good. And if you think watermelon is tricky, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's exotic, sweet, and loved by millions. Yet inside your body, it may be one of the most dangerous when it comes to lowering testosterone and weakening erections. Fruit number 5. Mangoes. Mangoes have always held a special place in my heart. They remind me of warm summers, family gatherings, and that irresistible sweetness you can taste the moment you slice into one. For years, I thought eating a mango in the morning was a gift to my body, a perfect way to start the day on a high note. But what I didn't realize back then, and what I see now after decades of working with men over 60, is that those golden slices were quietly working against me in ways I never imagined. The danger with mangoes lies in their sugar. Not just any sugar, but fructose, the kind that goes directly to your liver. When you're young and active, your body might handle it better, but after 60, the story changes. The liver isn't as efficient, insulin sensitivity decreases, and that same sweet fruit begins laying the groundwork for fatty liver. And here's the painful truth. Fatty liver is one of the fastest ways to drag down testosterone. Once testosterone drops, so does your ability to perform, to feel energetic, and to experience the kind of erections that remind you of who you are as a man. But that's not all. Mangoes also spike blood sugar quickly, triggering insulin to rise. As we've already seen, insulin is like a thief. It robs you of testosterone and strangles nitric oxide production, narrowing the very blood vessels that should be opening wide. Instead of supporting your manhood, mangoes eaten on an empty stomach in the morning can quietly erode it, leaving you with less stamina, more fatigue, and a growing sense of frustration. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy mangoes again. If you truly love them, treat them like dessert. Eat a small portion after lunch when your blood sugar is stable, and pair it with protein or healthy fats. In that context, your body can handle them far better, but as a breakfast choice, they are one of the worst. And if you think mangoes are risky, just wait until you hear about the next fruit. It looks tropical, vibrant, even refreshing. Yet beneath that sweet surface, it may be undermining your erections even faster than all the rest. Fruit number 6. Pineapple. For the longest time, pineapple was one of those fruits I believed symbolized health and vitality. Bright yellow, bursting with flavor, and so refreshing on a hot day, it always felt like a tropical gift to the body. I can remember slicing into one, thinking I was doing something good for myself. After all, isn't pineapple loaded with vitamins, and don't people say it helps with digestion? For years, I accepted that without question. But as time went on, and as I began looking deeper into how certain foods affect men over 60, I realized that pineapple wasn't as innocent as it appeared. The problem lies in its sugar content. Just a single cup of pineapple packs more than 16 grams of sugar, and it comes with very little fiber to slow it down. That means when you eat pineapple first thing in the morning, your body is hit with a fast rush of sugar that sends your blood glucose soaring. Almost immediately, insulin surges to bring it back down, and while that sounds like balance, it carries hidden costs. Insulin suppresses testosterone, stirs up inflammation, and restricts nitric oxide, the very molecule your body needs to open blood vessels and drive blood flow into your penis. So, while pineapple might taste like health, for men in their 60s, it often sets off a cascade of hormonal and vascular changes that weaken erections over time. The danger is subtle. You may not notice anything after a few slices, but eat pineapple regularly in the morning, and slowly your mornings feel flatter, your energy dips, and your confidence begins to slip away. And all the while, you never connect the dots back to that fruit you thought was helping you. If you enjoy pineapple, I won't tell you to cut it out entirely. Have it after a balanced meal, not on an empty stomach. Give your body protein and healthy fats first, so it can buffer the sugar and lessen the impact. That way you can still enjoy its sweetness without sacrificing your performance. And if pineapple feels like a surprise, brace yourself for the final fruit. It doesn't even look dangerous. In fact, it's often marketed as a clean, nutritious snack. Yet for men over 60, it could be the most damaging of all. Fruit number 7. Dried fruits. Raisins, dates, apricots. I have to admit, dried fruit fooled me for years. Raisins, dates, apricots. They always seemed like the smarter choice, especially compared to candy or processed snacks. I'd sprinkle a handful into my oatmeal, or snack on them with my morning coffee, thinking I was making a healthy decision. They were convenient, they tasted good, and every package I picked up promised natural energy. For the longest time, I believed I was doing my body a favor, but what I didn't realize, and what I've since discovered both in my own life and in the lives of my patients, is that dried fruit can be one of the most deceptive threats to a man's vitality, especially after 60. The danger comes from concentration. Once the water is removed, what's left behind is sugar. Dense, sticky load of fructose that your body absorbs almost instantly. Eat dried fruit on an empty stomach in the morning, and your system reacts as if you've eaten a handful of candy. Blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and within minutes, the delicate balance of your hormones begins to tilt. Testosterone dips, inflammation rises, and blood vessels constrict. These are the exact ingredients for weaker erections and declining energy. And because it feels so healthy, most men never suspect dried fruit as the culprit. They blame age, stress, or fatigue, when in reality the problem was sitting in that little box of raisins or dates on the kitchen shelf. It's not that you can never enjoy dried fruit again. In moderation, and only after a balanced meal with protein and fat, your body can handle small amounts. But starting your day with dried fruit alone is a hidden trap. It sets you up for hormonal chaos that takes a toll on your energy, your drive, and your manhood. And now that you've seen the 7 fruits that silently sabotage your mornings, let's bring it all together. Because while avoiding these foods is critical, there are also smarter choices you can make tomorrow that will help restore your strength, your focus, and your confidence as a man. Conclusion. So here's the truth, my friends. The 7 fruits we've just uncovered, bananas, grapes, orange juice, watermelon, mangoes, pineapple, acai, and dried fruits, may look harmless, but for men over 60, they can quietly erode testosterone, blood flow, and erection strength. I know, because I made many of these mistakes myself, and I've watched countless patients do the same. The good news is you're not broken and you're not too old. By simply changing your morning choices, you can take back your energy, your confidence, and your manhood. Tomorrow can feel different if you choose it.